Hey polish fans, welcome to another video here at Wild Moon Lacquer, and in today's video we are doing a little walkthrough on the nail polish app that I use. I got a couple requests on which nail polish app I use to keep track of my collection, and then I recently got a request to do sort of a walkthrough and take a look at how the app works. So we're going to go ahead and take a look at what I use and how it works. So the nail polish app that I use is called Nail Polish Rack, and this is how it looks on the home screen. I have tried a few different nail polish apps, but I keep coming back to this one. I think it's because I simply like the clean layout and it doesn't have any extras as far as like social media attached or things like an extra Pinterest board. So it is simply how to keep track of your polishes. So you've got your rack, which will keep track of your polishes. You've got the polish database, which is going to have all of the other polishes in there. Now keep in mind this is constantly updating because there are constantly new polishes released, but the good thing about this is if you buy a polish, say from a new maker to you, and they are not here in the polish database, you can go ahead and add them. Then you can also have a wish list. You can have a swap list, although I have never used that. This is where you add a polish if you go and look in the polish database and it is not there. You can barcode scan, although I don't often use that one either. You can search, and then you can look in these settings. So let's take a look at how it looks. So in my rack, you can look at your collection a few different ways. You can sort it by name and it will alphabetize it. So as you can see, you've got hashtag up at the top, then ... and then it's going to go into all of my polishes that have numbers in them, and then starting with A. Or you can do it by brand. If you're looking for a specific color in your collection from a very specific brand, you can sort it that way. If you want to sort by collection, you can do that as well. You can also look in your collection by type. So if you're looking for one of your base coats or one of your flaked polishes, or if you are looking for one of your glitter or glow-in-the-dark, I only have 3 glow-in-the-dark. You can also sort by color, and this is where you can see how many of each color family you have. You can also do most worn, although with this I haven't really been keeping up to date with polishes that I've worn, so this part of it isn't completely accurate. And then you can also look at most recently worn. So if you are keeping tabs in this app with ones that you're actually wearing, this will be very helpful to help keep track of that. Then you can go to the wish list, and same thing, you can sort by name, by brand, by collection type, all of that, which is very helpful. And then for the polish database, same thing, you can organize it or sort by brand, which is usually how I look for things. So when I'm, for instance, trying to enter into my app a new order that I did, let's say it was from an online vendor like Brands Design where I have multiple brands coming in, I will usually go to this page and look for the polishes. So let's say I bought a bunch of China Glaze, and then I will click on the list of China Glaze polishes and then go through this list and add the new ones that I purchased. And if you are looking through a polish collection or a list in the database and you see something like this, you can always report one of them as a duplicate, and they will go and add that to their list of polishes to review. And if there is a duplicate, they will go ahead and usually delete the newest one. So what I usually suggest when getting started with this and adding a polish, doing a little search, which you can use the little icon here and just search for the polish name that you're trying to find. So let's just go with Gray by Gray. And when you search by name, first thing it's going to do is come up with your rack up there at the top. So obviously I have that polish, but we're going to go into polishes, and it will come up with all of the names of polishes that might match what you're looking for in the polish database. So then you can scroll through it and see if you actually find the polish that you're looking for so that you can add it. Then, if you don't see it, that's when you can go over here. I realize I didn't mention this, but that little icon up there will take you to the menu as well, and you can go to Add Polish, and that will take you here to this nail polish rack adding screen, and you can add the name. You can scan the barcode if it is from the drugstore. You can add the brand, the collection if you know what collection it came in, what finish it has, another secondary finish, and then the color, and go ahead and then add that polish to the database. Now the good thing about this is if you add information that is identical to another polish that's already in there, they will often tell you about it. The little notification will pop up saying this already exists. Do you want to go to this listing? And that has definitely been helpful in the past. Sometimes I had, especially early on in the app when I wasn't really familiar with how things worked, would attempt to just add a polish this way to my collection, which is extra work. So if you don't have to add it this way, I definitely suggest going to the polish database here and scrolling through the brands to try to find the polish this way. It's just easier that way. But if you do have to add it and it says that there is a previous listing, I would always go ahead and just click on that and look. Sometimes you'll see that maybe the person who added that polish was listing maybe an older formula or something else that you feel is not quite what you want to use as your polish. Then you can go ahead and add your own and maybe slightly change the name so that it doesn't confuse people. Just a small side note. Let's see. It does have an export button too if you ever wanted to export your collection. I have attempted to do that, so I do have, I think, an old list of my collection from a few months back. And you can also send in a feature request, although I haven't done that either. But overall, that is the app. Hopefully this was helpful. Maybe it gave you a little bit of a rundown of how the app works and might make it easier for you to decide if this is something that you want to take a look at. I think they do still have a free trial period for this app. I know recently, earlier this year, they switched to a subscription base, although they used to be a free trial and then you could like buy the app. And I did buy the app at the time. It was like $3.99, and then like I said earlier this year they did switch to a subscription base, so that means that it is 99 cents a month, or you can pay $9.99 a year, at least I think that's what it was, and essentially get 2 months for free. So it is definitely something to consider if that's not something that you have in your budget or not something that you really feel like paying for. I know for me, initially, I really didn't want to do that. That was not something that I felt like spending. At the same time, when you have a collection that you need to keep track of, something for me anyways, like let's say the Google Docs or a Google spreadsheet is so much more time consuming to use than just this. So for that purpose and how much I find this helpful, to me, it wound up being something that I just sort of ended up doing. In any case, this was the app. That, again, was Nail Polish Rack. Hopefully you enjoyed. Let me know down below if you have any other questions, and I'll do my best to answer them. Make sure to like and subscribe for more nail polish videos, and I'll see you in that next one.